everyone, my name's Charlotte and welcome to My Life With, a channel where I hope to break down the stigma that surrounds mental illness. Thousands of people suffer from one form of mental illness or another, if not several, every single day of their lives. There are many people that need medication and don't have access to it, are not on it, or some people may not even have been diagnosed yet. I mean, there are people that just think their personal issues are just them. Maybe they're always angry, maybe they always are afraid of something, and they don't know that, maybe they have an underlying mental illness. So I aim to break down the stigma that surrounds mental illness and bring awareness to mental health in this country specifically, because I am in America. So in this country alone, it's basically a shit show when it comes to the mental health system. You're lucky, you're a lucky human if you have the access to doctors, the medication you require, and the ability to, see a therapist should you need one, and basically attempt to heal yourself of the mental health issues you are having. Some people can get over, if you will, their, say, depression. A lot of people have depression for a while, they'll be on medication for a little bit, and they'll be perfectly fine then. Awesome. Good for you. I wish I could do that. Several people, myself included, are in therapy for years and years and feel like they're not getting anywhere. And for myself, that's even combined with the medication I'm on. So, long story short, I aim to break that down here, make as many of you feel comfortable knowing that you're not alone, because I personally feel like I'm alone in a lot of things I deal with. So feel free to comment on anything you want to positively. I will completely ignore negative comments. I'm going to tell you that right now. You want to be negative about this, you want to start talking shit, I will ignore you straight up. Now that you know, we're going to get that out of the way. I will not deal with haters. I won't. I hate on myself enough. I don't need people helping. That being said, I personally, to get it out there, suffer from bipolar disorder, specifically type 2, a severe anxiety disorder. I believe is labeled some sort of panic disorder. My doctor hasn't told me for certain. I've done my own research, which I do on everything. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. And I suffer from what is known as emetophobia. Feel free to look that one up. I don't even like talking about it. Just the word associated with it makes my skin crawl. So please look that one up on your own. I don't really want to go there. I am 32 years old, almost 32 years old in November. And I was not diagnosed until I was 28. I started having these problems at the age of 12. All those years I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought maybe I was just a bitch. I thought maybe, you're just a teenager. You're going through some shit. You're going back and forth from parent to parent because my parents are divorced. And, maybe this is just who you are. No, come to find out, I'm bipolar. That made so much sense when I finally got diagnosed. And looking back on it, shit started in junior high. Looking back on it, it's like a light bulb went off. Oh my God, this is what was wrong with me. Everything made sense. I wish so hard that the doctors I was seeing back when I was 12, 13 years old would have actually done something then, but they refused. You know, we don't diagnose, you know, an adolescent. So, you know, my stepmother went through hell and back just trying to figure out what was wrong with me, because she knew underneath everything something wasn't right. This isn't typical teenage behavior. Teenagers don't typically try to commit suicide unless there's something wrong underneath everything else. I mean, it's not, oh, I'm a teenager, let's go attempt it. No. There's always, almost always, an underlying issue for a 12, 13-year-old child to look at their life the way they look at it and just feel like they can't live like this anymore, and, like I did, end up in a mental institution at the age of 12. 13. I was 13. You know, it's not right, because there are so many stigmas of different degrees surrounding the treatment or the diagnosis or just the fact that somebody has a mental illness. It's bullshit. Complete bullshit. I aim to at least speak out about my personal issues, because I can't speak for anybody else, and what I deal with on a daily basis, to hopefully put it out there so somebody else doesn't feel alone like I do. You know, every little quirk, every little, you know, idiosyncrasies that are there, I feel like I'm alone with. I feel like I'm probably the only one that deals with this. It's so weird. It's so out there. It's so different. Can there possibly be anybody else like this? So as we go on, hopefully every day I'll try to get a new one out there, just day by day. How do I feel today? You know, and I will film and I will put it here, and hopefully somebody else will feel better about their day knowing that, you know, there's somebody else out there that suffers like they do. You know, I hate using the word suffer. Technically, that's what we do. It is a disease. It is an illness, regardless of what somebody else wants to think. So, technically, we do suffer with it. But I don't like the word suffer, just because it conjures up, you know, the desire for sympathy, if you will. You know, I don't need sympathy for myself. I know what's wrong with me. I know I'm medicated. I know, you know, life isn't just gonna disintegrate because here's what's going on with me. I know personally, rationally, that's not what's going to happen. However, when the mood strikes, when the anxiety kicks up, because that is most of my problem, is the anxiety kicks up, and the irrational thoughts that I have, when that happens, they just take over, and basically it's like that little voice in the back of your head that says, you're not worth anything, you know, you're just fucked up, this is going to be your life. And it's basically you're suffering, because it is self-sabotage, but you can't control it. I mean, personally, I'm on medication for the anxiety. I hate taking it. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, because I know that that's the only way that I have found so far, that I have tried so far, I'm looking into alternatives, that even helps a little bit to ease the anxiety I feel that affects every single day of my life. And it doesn't just affect me. I'm married. I have a child. It affects both of them. You know, my daughter's only 7 years old and she's already looking at me, Mommy, what's wrong with you? Do you need a Xanax? Are you having anxiety? She's 7. She's incredibly intelligent for a 7-year-old. But she's just little. She doesn't need to deal with this already. She shouldn't have to deal with this at all. And yet here we are. So, long story short, I hope to make at least one, if I can make one person out there feel like they're not alone, because I can relate to them or they can relate to somebody else, and you know, a couple of people can start it back and forth. If I can make one single person out there feel like they're not alone in the world with their own little section of themselves there, I will consider my job done. All I want to do with this channel is get everything out there, just everybody talk about their feelings, if you will. Basically, video therapy. I mean, I am by no means a professional. I am strictly your layperson that has mental illness, basically. We, as a society, need to stop looking at mental health patients as basically second class, if you will. I mean, you get day-to-day people that don't have a mental problem that will look at people that do have a mental problem like they have, I mean, a disease, yes, but a contagious disease. This is not contagious. You cannot just catch a mental illness. It can be hereditary, but you can't just catch it. It's not like catching a cold. You can't just wake up one morning and, hey, I'm bipolar today. It doesn't work that way. I actually had somebody in my psychology class I took a while ago that asked that question. Can you catch bipolar disorder? To which I stood up in the back of the class and basically did everything but interrupt the teacher going, hey, no, I have this. Let me set you straight. It's not contagious. You cannot just catch a mental illness. Sometimes it's hereditary. Sometimes it's just not. Sometimes it's just that's how your brain is. That's your chemical makeup. And you can't control it. So I aim to knock that shit off, basically. I'm tired of it. It's getting ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's getting old. It's getting ridiculous. It's bullshit by now. It was bullshit a while ago. So if I can make anybody out there a little more comfortable with their own illness, their own little part of themselves that they maybe don't like, I can't give you a better word for it. If one single person out there feels better about themselves, even the slightest, knowing they're not alone, that is my goal. That is my aim. I will try to upload every day if I can on basically how today is going so far. It may be the next day talking about yesterday. We'll see how it goes. If you've noticed so far, I do a lot of looking off. I don't look at the camera. I actually have something here that tells me you need to look right here. So that's just part of, you know, the anxiety that I have of talking to people. I even have a social anxiety problem. I mean, just getting myself out here right now, I have absolutely no self-esteem. Zero. Absolutely none. Just putting myself out here is a stretch for me. This is something brand new. This is foreign territory. So just putting myself out there for you is a big thing for me. So, you know, I was inspired by other YouTubers that have nothing to do with mental health. Just watching them and their videos and going, you know, I could do that. I think, let's try it. So here I am, we're trying it. So that being said, I hope that, just to start with, because this is my first video, I hope that you look forward to, because I look forward to, more videos, and hopefully you won't feel so alone like I do. I really wish there were more people that were open about their mental health, but there aren't because of the stigmas that surround it. So, if I'm going to say it again, if I can get one person to not feel like they're the only one, I will have done my job. So, I will try to upload again tomorrow. I guarantee absolutely nothing so far, because I'm just starting out. This is the first one. But hope you all have a good day. Hopefully nothing catastrophic happens. And I will see you tomorrow.